Okay, cool. Here you go. Hey, what's going on, you guys? Here with Carlos Balderas. Carlos, it's great to see you. We're
Yeah,
living
yeah, yeah,
an uncertain time right now. We're at
yeah,
home, but it's good to see you, even if it's just virtually. Uh,
yeah, yeah.
I want to start off. I know that you and your family are one of the people that are
Mhm.
personally affected by this COVID-19. You have an uncle
Yeah,
who's suffering from coronavirus. Can you let me know how he's doing? Give us an update on his condition.
yeah. He's doing really good, thank God. My uncle's he's home already. They thank God, yellow. They took him off the ventilator, but man, he was doing pretty bad. And like I said, it was pretty crazy to me because he was the one who was telling all of us like, "Hey, you guys need to take this serious. Stop messing around. Stay inside of your house." And he's like the one who got it really bad, man. So man, that was pretty messed up. But he's doing really good now. Thank God, he's healthy. He's slowly recovering, but yeah, he was slipping away.
Wow. Scary times. I'm really happy to hear that he's doing well, that
Yeah,
especially that he's home, being off the ventilators. That's a great sign. So
yeah.
very happy to hear
Thank
that.
you, thank you.
How did that affect you emotionally? It's such something so tough.
Yeah, it was really sad, especially what I found it more sad more than anything was that he had to be there alone, and like the most saddest part about it was that every time he would wake up, he would panic, he was waking up and he would panic and his heart was going all the way up. So they would have to put him back to sleep, because he would wake up and I think, I don't know, maybe they were trying to explain to him and he would like panic. So they would have to put him back to sleep a few times. That happened about maybe like 4 times, I think. So he finally started to relax, but it was affecting like my dad, my grandma and grandpa, they didn't even want to tell him, but they eventually like caught on, sadly, but they're doing good. They took it okay because by the time they found out, he was already kind of slowly recovering already, which is really good. Thankfully that my grandma and my grandpa they didn't scare them like, oh hey, they nobody told my grandma and grandpa,
Mm.
but yeah, it was pretty sad, especially because the family is very close, like really really close.
Yeah. How long was that process, or the time frame that I guess he was immediately he went to the hospital? Like how long was that time of the uncertainty for your uncle?
Like man, like about a good couple weeks, I think, like a good 2 3 weeks, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty short. It was a good maybe even like a month if I'm not sure because he stayed a whole month at the hospital. So I'm
Wow.
guessing like 3 weeks around there por ahí. It
Wow.
was yeah, it was pretty bad.
Wow. That's that's a really long time.
Yeah.
Most of us are at home. Well, if we're not an essential worker or something,
Hmm.
we're at home. And some of the fighters that I've been talking to, haven't been personally affected with a loved one or someone, and everyone kind
Yeah.
of says that it reminds them kind of like a training camp. But in your case, you had your uncle very
Yeah.
very ill. So I want to ask you, like, what did you do? But I don't know how much of the time I don't know if you try to distract yourself. Like, what would you do this month? How would you distract yourself, keep yourself busy at home?
These last few days, lately because of the virus, man, I just been I mean, we thank God that my dad has a personal gym. We have our own gym. So we've been going there like here and there a couple times a week just to stay, I guess, fit. Try to stay loose and stuff. Try to keep our rhythm. Um, but other than that, I haven't been doing much. I've been bored out of my head. Like I've been reading lately, and I've never even, man, I would never read. I swear, I hated reading, but I'm reading now. I'm reading books and stuff.
What
Trying
are you
to.
reading? What are you reading? What are you reading?
Right now, I'm reading the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Yeah, so I'm reading that book right now. Trying to strengthen my mind and my body. But yeah, I'm doing that. Just outside with my dogs. There's really nothing much I can do. It kind of does in a way feel like a training camp. Like now that my uncle's part is kind of um dealt with pretty good, now it kind of does feel like the process of like staying in your room locked all day, and staying home and not talking to nobody, not seeing nobody. So kind of does feel like that, but we'll get through this. We'll get through this.
Yeah. Well, I hear you know you're training in a way from home. I want to talk about obviously your last fight was not
Mm-hmm.
the result that you wanted, but I've seen that you
Mm-hmm.
made some changes now joining Churchill Boxing. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, yeah. I met Sam, through a good friend, and we just started talking, and I thought things was better for me if I was to get myself a good manager. Like, not no disrespect to my uncle, because my uncle David was my manager at the time, but he didn't have that experience really to be. You know what I mean? Like, I think now maybe my uncle could be like co-manager or something, or something. But now we got ourselves somebody who knows how to play in that field. But yeah, sadly for my last fight, it wasn't the result that I wanted. But like, there was like a lot of things. I don't even want to say, like I said, I don't really want to get into it. Because truthfully, I just believe it was a great learning lesson, and that's what I'm gonna take it as, a big learning lesson, and that it just wasn't my night. But a lot of things went wrong. Truthfully, like, whether I said it or not, a lot of things did go wrong before the fight, and that's where I think my manager could have come into play. And I think that would have been important for me. But like I said, it was a learning lesson, and I'm doing really good. I'm doing really healthy, and regardless of everything, I'm thankful. Because I still believe that I'm in a great position. So um, I put that in the past. I talked to a lot of world champions after the fight, and I remember seeing you in Vegas. And I was talking with Eric and Juan Manuel, and they. I talked to Tim Bradley and a bunch of other people, and they all told me that I'm a great fighter, and that it's just take it as a learning experience, because everybody gets caught. And like, unfortunately, man, I don't even like going into this, but like, I mean, I believe I can take a shot, because I've never been dropped in my amateur career, my never in sparring, never, never even been rocked. And, that fight, I was just like really dehydrated. So I just wasn't able to take a shot, that happened through accumulation of so much training, but that's in the past, that's in the past. And I'm looking forward to the future. And, um, I look forward to working with Churchill Management. Sam is a good guy and an experienced guy, and we'll be working with Ringstar still and Al Heyman. And yeah, you know what I mean. Sky's the limit.
Yeah, definitely. One fight, one loss does not define a fighter at all. I mean, if you look at an example of Juan Manuel Marquez, who lost his pro debut, if he would have given up at that
Oh
point
damn.
and said like, "Hey, maybe boxing's not for me," we would have never seen that legendary fighter. So definitely,
Yeah.
one fight does not define you. We look forward to seeing you back in the ring. We know, you've accomplished so much. I mean, even one of the
Yeah.
great
Thank you.
accomplishments that so many fighters, so many people dream of becoming an Olympian.
Hmm.
You did that in
Yeah. Yeah.
2016, so that's an
Yeah.
accomplishment
Thank
you
you.
had. I want to ask you, speaking of the Olympians, obviously with COVID-19 and the Olympics being canceled this year, what advice would you have for these young fighters that now have to wait for Tokyo 2021, that were so eager to do their thing this summer?
Yeah, man, I my best advice to them is to wait. I think it's worth it. I think they've been waiting their whole lives to experience the Olympics, and like, even some of my good friends that I know that lost in the trials to go to 2020, I still told them to stay till 2024, because I thought it would be really good for them, especially because they're really young. 1 year is not going to do them anything. Más bien, it's going to do them good, because they got a little bit of time to, sharpen up a little more. Maybe some people, you hardly ever show up to a competition 100%. So maybe now is the time for them to heal in some places. Because you're always so banged up and bruised up because of training. And my best advice to them, I swear, is to stay. I think it's definitely going to be worth it. And they don't want to be over here sitting watching. Like, a lot of people expect their career as a pro to, like, boom, take off, right away. And some people's do, and some people's, like, it'll, there's bumps in the road and stuff. But I believe that the Olympics is like a really, really good platform for you to get started. Especially if you've already made the team. Just wait 1 damn year. What are these guys in a hurry for? I think these guys feel like they're gonna boom, turn pro and start making millions. I think that's what they think. I don't know, but right now nobody's making anything.
I know. We're all just waiting for it to come back. Well, do you have any
Yeah.
news on Ringstar? Have they told you what their plan is and what month they're expecting fights to return?
No, no. I even I talked to Al too, and nobody knows anything right now. They don't even know because they don't. They clearly told me they don't know what's gonna happen in the next few months because they don't even know how the venues are gonna happen with people or without people. Um, they're scared a little bit of like the sales. I think I'm sure a lot of people will watch it on TV, but I doubt a lot of people, even when things get clear, I doubt people are gonna like boom want to go and start being in a packed venue. So right now, nobody knows anything. To be honest, I'm guessing maybe like July, August. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Um, I hope so. I hope it's around August or July. But no, they haven't told me anything. To be honest with you, we're just hoping
I
for the
know. I
best.
know. When I talked to you in Vegas, you mentioned that when you do come back, obviously we didn't know at that point that things were gonna be like this, and boxing was gonna
Yeah,
be canceled essentially. Are you trying to get the rematch, or are you just moving
yeah.
forward?
Nah, well, a lot of people, believe it or not, a lot of people are telling me to move forward and to take it as a learning experience, and I should. Truthfully, I can do that. I mean, how many? I mean, I'm no Amir Khan, to be honest. I mean, no disrespect to Amir Khan, but I really can't take a good hit. But he got knocked out in his first a couple of fights, and he went on to have a great career. Um, and that guy, nobody even knows who that guy is anymore. Like the guy who he lost to, nobody really knows who he is. So, and I'm sure he used it as a great learning experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I want to get the rematch just more than anything. I think it's more just to prove it to myself. And I was very frustrated that night when I lost because if I would have known in my mind, like, um, man, I had a great camp and I was in the best shape possible. I know that in my body, I was like mind and body, I was 100%. And I still would have lost like that. I would have been tripping. But like, I would have accepted it as being, would have been like, whatever. But like I said, there was a lot of things that went wrong before the fight, and sometimes I wish I could go back, but the other part of me is just wants to accept it, and that's what I want to do. But truthfully, I want to get the rematch, and that's what I plan on doing. I just want to get like one fight in more than anything because we're gonna add somebody. We're gonna add a coach to the team, and I'm pretty sure of who that's gonna be. We're still not sure, but I've been talking to him lately. I don't want to put it out there just because if things go left, and but yeah, we've been talking to a good coach in LA, and we're gonna be working with him, and he's gonna be helping us, more experienced coach. I think that was a big factor in my fight that my uncle and my dad they've never been in in a fight. I guess you could say that big, and in that position, and then having it be me, their son, como que se espantaron. They got a little
Yeah.
bit like panic. It
Yeah.
wasn't like a fighter who was like somebody else, and they could have got their head a little bit more clear. But when it's your loved one, you kind of react a little bit different, and I could understand that. But at the same time, this is a serious sport, so I have to get myself somebody que no se panique. Yeah,
Obviously, this was a learning experience not only
yeah,
for you but for your entire team, and
yeah, that's
to
true.
make the good thing is that you guys recognize some of the changes that I guess had to be done, and you guys are working on that. So whenever your time in the ring comes, you guys are fully prepared and ready to take on whether it's the rematch or a different opponent. Um, how eager? How much does this fuel you more to to get back in there? The fact that our sport was
Yeah.
taken away just like that.
Yeah, so much, man. That thing is so stressful, and even more with the loss, man. I want to pull my hair out right now, but um, I guess all we gotta do is just try to stay as healthy as we can and stay active. But that thing was well, for me, I have a suspension, so it's doing me good, to be honest. Um, so other than that, I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to getting back into the ring, man. I'm so anxious, and I look forward to I've been stepping it up, inside and outside the ring, and I just can't wait to go out there and do my thing. Like I said, I've had big losses before. This is my very first time ever being knocked out. Um, and but every time that I've took a big loss, like I've said, I've always came back stronger. Like always, whether it was in amateurs or in like the World Series or man, I've always came back stronger. And I know for a fact that this is gonna fuel me, and you'll see a different Karlos
Nice.
whenever you see a different Karlos.
we we look forward to seeing uh, new Carlos in the ring.
Thank
Hopefully,
you, thank
hopefully,
you.
really soon. Carlos, before I let you go, I want to get your thoughts on some predictions. I like to see how fighters think. Obviously, before this whole thing
Hmm.
started with COVID-19, the plan was for Canelo to fight Billy Joe Saunders in Cinco de Mayo weekend, and now
Yeah.
it's well, that got scratched, and we don't know if the September fight will perhaps be against Golovkin, the trilogy.
Hmm.
If that fight were to happen between Canelo and Golovkin, how do you see that fight coming in? Do you think, is it still a 50-50 fight, or do you think that Canelo's coming in with an edge?
Nah, yeah, I think Canelo is coming in with I guess you can say Golovkin has had his wars, you know. I don't want to say he's completely washed up, you know, like I said, because he had a good fight, his last fight, but I think Canelo's gonna smash him. Actually, I'm glad that you asked me
Smash
about
him.
that. I think
Smash
so.
him.
I think so. I think so. Like I think so. But I'm glad that you asked me about that because I actually wanted to clear some things about freaking Canelo because I remember like after one of my fights they had asked me a question, you know, and man, I got a lot of backlash because of that. But I wanted to clear something like that about that. I was gonna say like first of all, I'm a fan of Canelo, which was surprised me because all kinds of people were saying like they thought that I was hating on Canelo, but you know what I was referring to. I don't remember clearly the question, but I think they remember asking me something about Canelo and being a big star. But what I was alluding to was, you know, Canelo being a big star and only speaks Spanish. Imagine how much bigger of a star he can be if he's speaking, or you know what I mean, another person in general who speaks English and Spanish and is talented and you know what I mean. That's what I was
Yeah.
alluding to. People thought I was over here saying, "Oh, he don't even speak English." Like that's not what I meant. You know what I mean? My grandma, like, come on, man. My grandma, grandpa don't even speak English. How would I look like?
I
But I
think
could
your
understand.
words were probably taken out of context. Like, I think were
I
you
think
referring kind
so.
of like Manny Pacquiao was able to cross over, learn some English, and become even a bigger star, not just from
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Philippines,
yeah,
like, but here in the U.S. because he was able to connect with the U.S. market in English. Is that
yeah,
something kind of
yeah,
like that?
yeah, man. And people just use that as an excuse to talk, you know, to to take it out on me. But I mean, at the end of the day, I've said it. You know, people, you're gonna do what you do in this world, and you know, the people who love you are still gonna love you, and the people who hate you are still gonna hate you. So, like I said, that's not what I meant, but it is what it is.
Speaking of people who like you or hate you, I want to talk about someone that it seems that you have a little tension with. A fight that was also kind of put on hold. Teofimo Lopez against Lomachenko.
Yeah.
What do you think about that fight?
Teofimo versus Lomachenko. I think it's you know, Teofimo has been looking good, and you know, he's a strong fucker, man. I've sparred him, and sí está fuerte, but I've sparred Lomachenko as well, and he's on a different level. And not to like throw dirt on Teofimo or anything, but I just do feel like Lomachenko has much more experience and is it should be a good fight. You know, it should be a good fight. But I'm giving the edge to Lomachenko just because of the fights and experience. But then again, Teofimo can crack him, and he could put him out. So, you know, this is boxing. Anything can change with one fight. But I'd have to give the edge to Lomachenko in that fight. But yeah,
Are
I
still
see you. I see you, Adriana, trying to put me in the hot seat.
well,
Nah,
have
I'm
you
just
have
kidding.
you when was the last time that you spoke to Teofimo? Have you guys just kind of kept your
Yeah.
distance?
Nah, actually, I ran into him in Las Vegas when I seen you out there, and we had a cool conversation. You know, I ran into him and
Okay, so you guys are
I
in
said,
talking terms. So if you
yeah,
guys so you
yeah.
guys see each other and you guys talk, you guys don't.
I mean, we don't like talk and talk. You know, we don't talk like that. But, man, there was a lot of things
But it's
said, to be
respectful.
honest.
But it's respectful, I guess.
Yeah, it is. You know, yeah, it is respectful because I can't. I like at the end of the day, was things that was said. You know, and I said some stupid things, and I'm sure he did too. But it's in the past, and truthfully, like with a lot of these things that have been happening, I guess you can say like the world's much bigger than that, you know, and we shouldn't really be beefing over this little thing. I mean, if we happen to fight, I guess we will fight. Maybe it was personal for them, you know, because they wanted to go to the games in my division and for the Olympics for the United States, but not my fault. And I seen him and I talked to him, and you know, I just congratulated him on his win because he had obviously just won. And it was like a very brief talk, but he just told me to keep my head up, I think, and that was it. We just shook hands, and we should have took a picture,
Yeah.
but that was it. That was it. It was a cool conversation. Yeah, we're not like cool, but I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it's squashed or not. We'll see.
Okay. All right. So it's things are settling. All right. That's good.
Yeah,
That's great to hear. I mean, you're exactly right. There's with so many things, so many horrible things going on in this world. Don't need to be down on small
yeah,
things. But I'm glad to hear
yeah,
that. One last prediction that I'd like to hear from you. Obviously, we had the big fight between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, and we saw how that
yeah.
happened. How Fury just took over completely, and now they're talking about the trilogy happening. It was supposed to happen in July, but now it's set for October. Um, my son wants to say hi, I guess.
Hey, what's up, man? Watch my next fight.
Little fans from this small.
That's right.
um, but the trilogy. So do you are you interested in seeing the third fight between Wilder Fury, or would you prefer to see the UK fight with, let's say, Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury?
Um, I say we should do a trilogy for both of them fights. We should do a trilogy for Ruiz and Tyson Fury. I think Ruiz has a good chance, of coming back. Like, he just se descuidó a little bit in camp, you can say, but as for Deontay Wilder's fight, I think Deontay Wilder, I don't know. And he took a big beating from Wilder. I mean from Fury, I'm sorry. And but I would like to see the third fight. I do think that if they do have a third fight, that Fury's gonna smash him. I keep saying
Well,
that word.
you keep saying smash.
Yeah,
All right. Well, Carlos, I really appreciate talking to you. I'm really glad, like
yeah,
what we started in the beginning of this conversation, that your uncle is doing well. If
yeah.
you have
Thank you.
any last message for your fans, for just everyone in general, um, anything you want to say to them?
Just to keep it locked more than anything, that I'm thankful for all the support that I've gotten, and like I said, regardless of everything that's going on, we're still in a great position, and everybody just needs to stay positive in difficult times, and we will um we will overcome this. You know what I mean? And other than that, everybody stay safe.
Absolutely. Carlos, thank you so much once again.
All right,
Um,
Adriana.
Saludos a toda la familia. You guys stay safe.
Yep, yep. Thank you, thank you. Take
All
care,
right.
Adriana.
Thank you. You too.
Likewise.
Bye.